Today's practice will be completely seated. The only props you might need are a folded blanket to elevate your sitting bones in your pelvis in case you tend to round the pelvis back when you're sitting. This practice will completely stay on the floor. This is a practice that you can do if you're just under the weather and laying in bed and just want to move. Always get permission from your medical professional before starting any kind of movement practice. But I did design this for people who are just recovering in bed after a bout of illness. So let's start. I'm going to take my folded blanket and place it under my sitting bones. And we're going to start in Sukhasana. So if you like, you can have your legs out straight, lengthen through the thighs, and then bring in one leg and then the other, sitting upright. And we're going to get centered and breathe here. So I invite you to close your eyes and you can just listen to my voice, or you can find a soft gaze past the tip of your nose. But breathe in like you're smelling something you love, and then sigh it out. And let's do that a few times to connect the mind with the breath and how the breath is moving the body. And I want you to imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in this energy of vitality, breathing in health, breathing in energy, breathing out anything that is holding you back, breathing out the funk, whatever it is. So as you connect your mind with your breath and your body, imagine restoring your body with health and vitality and wellness. And then asking whatever is not serving you to leave. And then let's gently open the eyes and let's just do a little bit of movement with the ribs while we're in Sukhasana, feeling if we're really originating this movement from the base of the spine, very small circles with the rib cage, and then we'll go in the other direction. And now we'll make them a little bit bigger. Let's go in the direction where we started, maybe feeling the shoulders become part of this. Maybe a little bit of the neck might want to move too. We'll go in the other direction. Good, and let the spine come to what feels like stillness, but you still feel some vitality inside, and we'll just gently lower the head and then look up. Keep this motion very small. We're just inviting a bit of movement in the neck now. And then we're going to look side to side. Again, keep this really small, slow motion. We want to be mindful with our movement so we don't jerk anything. Great. Now let's come back to center. We're going to bring the legs out long, still sitting on that folded blanket for that pelvis support. And take your hands and just move the muscle, the flesh of your legs down towards your feet. Just lengthen through the legs. And then we're going to sit in Dandasana, staff pose. So this is just sitting nice and upright, feeling the natural curves of your spine, feeling that your lower ribs are in line with your upper ribs. So there's no flaring out. Keeping the lower ribs engaged into their natural alignment, shoulders resting down. There's a nice long line of energy through the arms as you connect your hands down to the floor while also floating up through the crown of the head. Keep some energy in your feet. And just breathe here with me. Feeling as if you're rooting down through the base of your thighs. So even though it looks like stillness and that you're just sitting up, there's actually a lot of engagement here. This is a wonderful pose for strengthening your core, believe it or not. Especially if you're breathing mindfully, imagining you're smelling something you love and feeling that expansion of breath all around the cylinder that we also call the trunk. Good. Now let's bend the knees, just bring the heels closer toward you. And we're gonna bring the belly towards the thighs, but keep the breastbone nice and long. So I'm gonna turn to a side view just to show you what this looks like. Keeping this nice and long, folding it in. And then as I'm able, I can bring the legs out long, but I wanna keep length in the back, no slumping here. Keeping the shoulders engaged down, and we're in a seated forward fold. If you've been sitting for a long time or lying in bed for a long time, you might feel really stiff in your lower back and your hips, so be really nice to yourself here. You don't have to push anything. We're feeling some lengthening of the spine, lengthening in the backs of the legs, breathing mindfully into the whole of your core, perhaps even feeling your lower back expanding with your breath. Just keep with me for maybe 2 more breaths. Good, and then let's gently rise it back up. I'm gonna turn to face you again. I'm gonna mirror you, so you keep your left leg out long and bend your right knee and place that sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Again, keeping that lift. So it's like your trunk is still in that Dandasana, that staff pose where we started. And then maybe bending the knee again, coming forward. And then I like to keep my hands on either side of my leg and engage my shoulder blades down the back as I fold forward, keeping a lift through the breastbone. Keep breathing here, head to knee pose. Keep your gaze more neutral. You don't have to look at your foot. But also don't let your head slump down either. Can you keep your neck in alignment with the rest of your spine? Then let your hands help you to come up if you need it. And let my hands help the bent leg become straight. And now I'm gonna bend the other leg, which for you is your left leg. Again, sitting up nice and tall, always finding that neutral of the spine before moving it. So I'm gonna bend this knee, gently come forward. If when you bend your knee, you feel pressure in the knee or in the hip, stuff a pillow under your knee. Just keep breathing here. Again, shoulder blades sliding down the back ribs. Breastbone is long. My head is in line with the rest of my spine. And always, as you breathe out, just letting go. Letting go of whatever is holding you back and being present in this moment of health and wellness. All right, let's let the hands help us to come up. We're gonna come back to Dandasana, neutralizing the knees, really be active in your feet, moving the neck a little bit, just finding what you need for neutral. All right, so now I'm gonna keep the left leg long and bend the right again, but this time I'm putting the sole of the foot on the floor. Still sitting up tall, my lower ribs are still in alignment with my upper ribs. I'm gonna keep this foot active, like I'm standing on something, so my leg is not just hanging out there, but it's doing something. And then let's wrap the left arm around the shin and find a nice, easy twist. Now, if you've had abdominal surgery, don't do this. You want to maybe do an open twist and keep it in the shoulder blades, but again, always ask your medical professional what kind of movement is appropriate for you if you are doing this in bed. We're just going to do an easy twist here. We're not cranking anything. We're not going too deep. And then gently release that twist. We're going to change legs. And then find your easy twist to the left. Again, keep active through your right foot. Keeping your shoulders resting down. Nice, easy breath. Then let's release that twist. Bring the legs out long. Okay, so now let's get into the shoulders a little bit. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do a modified cow face pose. We're gonna do the legs in Sukhasana, just how we started. And we're gonna bring the arms out like a T. Let's just open the arms, palms facing up, shoulders rolling out, and then rolling in. We're just gonna warm up that shoulder joint. Keep your neck like a little bobblehead, so you're not tensing anything. Okay, so now I've got my right shin in front. For you, this, if you're copying me exactly, this will be your left shin. So let's bring up the opposite arm. So this, if I'm mirroring you, this would be your right arm. We're gonna bend at the elbow and then rolling the other arm in and bringing it behind you. My fingers are not touching, they don't need to touch. I am focusing on keeping a sense of length through my spine. My lower ribs are still engaged inward, so I'm not protruding them out. Opening up at the chest, feeling a nice stretch across the tops of the shoulders and the triceps. Just breathe here. And then we'll gently release that out. We're going to change the cross of the legs. So if you're copying me, now your right shin is in front. We'll bring the arms out like a T. And now the left arm will come up and you'll bend at the elbow and you'll roll in the right shoulder and bring that arm behind you. You might notice a different range of motion. It's okay, it's totally normal and natural that your shoulders might be a little different. Just keep your awareness on a nice straight spine, length through the breastbone, lower ribs engaged in so they're not protruding out, openness across the chest and collarbones. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Just breathe here. Let's release that bottom arm and then the upper arm and just gently, slowly roll the shoulders, slow motion. Being really kind here with this practice today. Okay, so I'm going to remove this folded blanket and I'm going to take down my hair clip because we're going to lie on our back. And I'm going to move to the side so you can see, but you will stay exactly as you are. But we're going to do a bridge pose. So I'm just going to lay back, keeping my knees bent. My feet are hip distance. Have your arms alongside your body. And then imagining that as you come up, you're going to exhale with me as we lift the hips strengthening those glutes. Imagining that the belly button is going towards the nose and the tailbone is going towards the knees. And just breathe here. And let's slowly roll the spine back down, touching the hips down. Just find a nice sense of neutral, keeping your knees bent. We're going to do that 2 more times. So take a breath in, exhale, engage those glutes, lift the hips up. Can you still breathe naturally, normally, like you're smelling something you love? Finding some nice strength and stability in the hips and the thighs. Keeping your knees in line with your hips and ankles. Slowly rolling down the spine to come out. If you notice your knees moving a lot, you absolutely want to place a yoga block or a firm pillow between your knees and squeeze it together if that helps you to engage your legs and keep your knees in alignment with your hips and your ankles. Try that if you need it. We're going to do 1 more. Take a breath in. Side out, and let's rise on up. And then slowly bring it down. And we're just going to release the glutes with some knees to chest. If it's too much to hold your shins, you can totally hold the thighs. Sometimes it's nice to rock side to side, just a little bit for a little low back massage. And then from here, let's let the legs come out long for a short little Shavasana. Have your palms facing up. Move your arms a little bit away from your body and have some space between your feet so your joints can completely relax and open up. And I invite you to feel vitality in your body. Feel the blood moving through your legs, through your spine, across your chest, your belly, your arms. Just feel that energy moving. That is your health and your wellness. Restoring you, bringing you life. And with every breath, you help to facilitate this growth of wellness inside of you. Feeling positivity and joy. Find an easy connection to the whole of you, from your feet all the way through your legs and your hips, all the way through your back, your belly, your chest and shoulders and arms, your head, your face. Soften your tongue, find some space in your jaw, relax your eyebrows. Just breathe with me. Find a thought, a word that brings you joy and restoration. Whatever word comes to you is what you need right now. I want you to fully embody that word and let your body respond to the thought of that word. And let it fill you from head to toe. hold on to the feeling of that word so it becomes an intention. You're going to walk into a space in your life where that word is ever present, where you are the embodiment of this word that levels up your life to the best possible circumstance. And you can stay lying down, or I invite you to bend your knees, roll onto your side, and just real easy. Join me again in Sukasana, that easy pose with our legs crossed. Finding that nice upright orientation, head over the tailbone. Breathing here, and bringing the hands together in gratitude for what you're able to do. Bringing your hands together in gratitude for what is possible for you. Thank you for joining me in a yoga practice today. May you always feel happy and well. Thank you.